I do believe that it is crunch time. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday. I'll be up here in just a, what? Yeah-ha-ha! Guess it's time to sing. Just woke up, but I'm doing this thing. Waiting on Mel to bring me a treat. It's covered in cinnamon and it's real sweet. Did you know what it is? Do you know? Did you know? Past tense. Did you know? God. At 11 seconds in. I think that's a record. Lord of mercy. This is 5,500 bits from Unreal Zoroark, who says, "Yeah, haha, a gift to you, Stephen and Mal from the Koroks." Press X to feel surprised. This is what I was referring to. You remember a while back? How many weeks ago was it? It's been a few weeks ago.
There we go.
It's been like a significant amount of weeks ago.
I made these a while ago.
Mal made a dozen cinnamon rolls, and then half of them got frozen. These are the last ones. The last ones.
Which is good, because there's other things I need to make.
Other things?
Yeah.
Like?
Well, we have a pie crust in the freezer, and I have a can of apple filling. So it's not going to be like my Thanksgiving apple pie, but we'll have an apple pie at some point.
Okay. Alright. Anyway, Zoroark, thank you for the bits. That was I was not expecting to be like, "Hi, okay, I'll sing."
That was a surprise.
It was a surprise. It was a surprise. Yeah, we've enjoyed these, but you know, it's time for them to go away. Although, you know, when you keep talking about like more sweet treats, I'm like, we got so many sweet treats.
I know.
Must we eat all the sweet treats?
No.
What if instead we did not? What if we were just like, sweet treats, put them on pause for a bit? That wouldn't be so bad. Oh man, Zoroark with the milk bombs too. Snap! It was a combo. It was a song and a splash. Where'd those go? Those went to Starwebs 1, Tim's Retro Sessions, JDL Baseball, the other Kanata, and OG Big 55. Thank you, Unreal. Appreciate that. And then right behind Unreal, 5 subs from Turtle Dragoon. Winnie 1234, Zantalk, Sure Cools, Fenblade 190, and Moon Cow 5. That's a good name. That's a good name. Real good name. And there's even more gift subs. Dear Lord. Okay, well, let's go back up to the top of the list. Read from the top. I think that makes the most sense. There's a lot happening.
That makes the most sense.
I'm like still waking up. I've already been requested to sing. There's a lot of things occurring.
Can't sing this early.
It's hard. Man, my hair.
You have 2 hairbands.
No, it's not in my face. It's not a problem. I should have maybe combed it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you slop your dripper already?
Mm-mm.
No. Minorly slopped your dripper. Just a tiny drip. Thomas says, the moon party was a year ago and I'm so sad. Can't relate. Wasn't there. If I would have known this was coming, I would have dropped everything to have been there. The moon party was an interesting thing from my perspective. Just because, you know, Jeff shot it, which was great. Mm-hmm. And I got to edit a thing that I was not present for.
Yes.
And that was fun for me. I imagine that that's kind of how Dan feels when he gets footage because Dan hasn't seen it. Like, sometimes Dan tunes into, like, when we're doing stuff live.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's either not there or if it's something that we record, you know, not on Twitch, you know, he's just getting...
this footage.
Yeah.
Mystery footage.
Mystery footage, you know? And then he's putting it together. So, I imagine that's kind of how Dan feels. So, it was nice to get a bunch of footage from Jeff and not know what's in it and, like, not know how to put it together. I enjoyed that.
It's breakfast. Breakfast.
It is breakfast. Indeed it is.
It is breakfast.
It is breakfast. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That was from Uchi Place. 1050 bits. Who says, good morning, grandparents. Good morning, Uchi. I said I'd jump back to the top and I did a bad job. Subs from Mewtwo151. Welcome. 8 months from Acrowl World 19. Appreciate it. 20 months from Ian Thay. Thank you, Ian Thay. We get a sub from Ochel TreeJL. I think I got that right. Welcome. 14 months from Big O26 Shen, who says, crunch time. Technically crunch time. Always crunch time.
It's always crunch time.
Although today it's like a...
Somewhere it's crunch time.
What's the opposite of crunch when it's like a wiggle time?
Wiggle time.
Squish. It's the opposite of crunch, squish.
Do you think about the words that come out of your mouth sometimes? Like the sentence, what's the opposite of crunch time? Is it wiggle time? That sentence came out of your mouth.
It still doesn't seem that inaccurate. Squish is a good one. I think squish is the opposite of crunch. Wiggle's not bad, though. Wiggle, like, if you think of something that is the opposite of crunchy, like...
Yes.
Wiggle's pretty accurate. Like, if something's wiggling, it probably ain't gonna crunch. "15 months from SparkStrike13. Oh, hey, 15 months. One more until I am officially licensed to drive. 12 months from Paper Spyro. Good morning, breakfast family. Good morning, Paper Spyro. Congrats on that whole year. We got that one today.
Coffee.
21 months from Old Ramen with just the Kep emote. 21 months also from Renee, who says, good morning, grandparents. Good morning, Renee. Did you have something that you wanted to quickly throw in? You really let me know way too early because you got like a lot of chewing to do.
They're so chewy. When I was heating these up and you were starting up here and like you were singing, Kepler attacked the curtain. He saw the shadow of a bird on the bird feeder.
Oh, okay.
And he just went nuts. He bolted to the window and just bam.
I'm glad that there was more context to that because I was like for no reason? Like just, you know what? I hate curtains. There's a bird on the other side. Thomas says, I too go crazy when I see shadows. I'm a groundhog. You never...
I suspected.
I mean, he's got to go crazy because what could be that shadow? It could be something to eat, like sand or tinfoil. One year, 12 months for Mama Zelda. That is Emmy. I have joined the correct time zone and can make it to breakfast stream more consistently. That's right. That's right. My first thought upon seeing you in chat was like, oh, it's really early, but then you're right. You moved. You moved to the correct time zone. So welcome to the East Coast. Well, not the coast. You're not on the coast, but you know, the East.
There's some water by her. It's not an ocean.
You want to belong to the East Coast? Turn on your tap. There's some water. East Coast, got it. Either way, what a wonderful way to celebrate a year in getting the one is that now you are in the one true time zone. AKA the easiest time zone to wake up for. All other time. Well, I guess unless you're in the UK. In the UK, you're like already going through your day. That makes it a little easier.
Because that was sticky.
But you had a utensil. Did you touch it?
Yes. I'll be right back. It'll take me 2 seconds.
But utensil. Why did you... We all have to do our own thing. We all have to do our own thing. We got some folks from Central Time. Silent Companion bringing up a good point. West Coast is better for Friday streams. It's true. It's true. I'm jealous. I'm a little jealous of West Coast time. Because on West Coast time, you can... Like, even if we go until like 1 a.m., because the last 2 weeks, I think, we've went until like 1 a.m. for Friday. 1 a.m. is what, 10? So it's still only 10 p.m. and you're like, well,
I can get stuff done.
I can still do a thing. I'm like, that's incredible. How does that work? Just do the streams earlier. No. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. is like, that's the earliest. That's the earliest. Someday, if I'm doing another stream block, I would do it earlier, like on a weekday, like how I do for First 20. But for now, it's 8 p.m. Anyway, I'm really off track. 13 months from Somberbank 91. Thank you. 300 bits from Murrow's Art. Good morning, Crunch Gang. Hope y'all are well. Quick question for Mal. Would she ever consider doing digital art for Mal Makes at some point?
I might, but just... It's not something I'm experienced at.
Yeah, you don't...
Yeah.
I'm about to be like, you don't know how to do it.
I mean, I know the idea of behind, drawing on a tablet. Do I do it very often? No.
No, Mal's made some digital art in the past. I remember in college, you designed some shirts.
Yeah, that was a project.
It was a project, and then it was like 10 years later, we actually took one of the designs and sold them on the store for a while.
Yeah.
But as far as like regularly making art on your computer, you just don't do it. So, not impossible, just I suspect that Mal would do it if she was in a position where she was with another digital artist and that was like what you were doing.
Yeah.
Like, you know how
for Coliseum.
What?
Anyway, go ahead. Yeah. Keep talking.
I was saying, like, when Haley came to visit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when Haley came to visit and you guys streamed, and, like, you both did watercolors or you both did acrylics.
Uh-huh.
That. So, like, maybe if you were streaming with a digital artist and that was what was happening, maybe you would do some digital art.
Someone complimented my broken picture phone art. Which is amusing to me because I played on Safari, and on Safari I have a hard time switching the size of the pen tool.
There's a bug, I think.
Yeah, with Safari. If I remember, because I normally don't, I'll switch to Chrome so I can change the scale of the pen, but I forget. So I open Safari and then we start, and then I can't switch. So then I'm limited.
And this continues to happen.
Every time.
Sure, have beans. That's enough beans. Have beans. I think it's fun to, we for the past few breakfast streams we did beans like an hour in.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, earlier beans now.
Earlier beans.
Early beans. Brandon's got the link to Patreon stuff if you are interested. Thank you. All right, we also got 10 months from Nikki K. Lynn. Happy 10 months. I hope you have a nice day today.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm planning on today being pretty good. I've been slowly catching up on vlogs because vlogs got just a few days behind. Will I get there today? I hope. I hope so. It's also been we were talking about how it's been kind of a busy week. Like, there's been a lot that's happened. Because there was one day that was like just like shopping day.
Yes.
We've recorded mail. So the May and June mail videos are done.
As people may know, we don't have recycling. We have trash pickup only. So we save recycling and cardboard, and we take it to the recycling center that our county has stationed in like 30 spots around the county.
Yep.
So we did mail, and then we were like, wow, we have all this cardboard. So we took that yesterday.
So we've been doing mail 2 months at a time, and we hadn't done the recycling from last time we did 2 mail videos. So we had literally
a ton of cardboard.
4 months worth of cardboard boxes.
Plus anything we've ordered, like cat food or paint supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of
cardboard.
There was a lot of that. But you know, we did it. It's done. It's good.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Actually, we forgot a box. And it slid under the coffee table that's in the dining room.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
It's something that we're going to be making more cardboard boxes.
Flash the Firefoxes. Why don't you guys have recycling? We don't actually have trash pickup either. That's something we pay for separately.
It's really reasonable. It's like $9 a month, $8 a month.
Yeah.
It comes once a week, so it's like $2 a week. So if you put it out, and then they come get it. And honestly, it's probably costs that much in gas to get to the recycling center to throw your trash away anyway. So
yeah.
So it's not that bad. And then it's an additional cost to do recycling.
But not cardboard.
Yeah. So you'd still have to go anyway.
Yeah.
You know? Would they take commingle? Sure. But then you'd still have cardboard, so you'd still end up having to go. So we just decided
Thomas says our trash is with our water bill. That's a weird...
I mean... I wish. I wish that everything was just included. Mm-hmm. There was just a magical utility bill, and everything's taken care of.
When we lived in the apartment, the one that had where we got the kittens, that people know that one. Not the Columbia apartment, but the one that was here.
Columbia apartment's so old that when you say our apartment, people don't even think about that. That's too long ago.
Everything was included there except internet. Like water, electric. Not electric, but trash was there. Cable was with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say, not electric.
Yeah, everything but electric and internet.
I mean, I'm sure that there's places that include electric, but including electric seems hard. Different people use different amounts of electric.
The Red Walls apartment. Yeah, the kitchen was red.
People can identify the places we've lived based on the wall color. Is that the red or the blue? Is it red kitchen or blue kitchen? It's a blue kitchen. Oh, okay.
Blue kitchen was not the one that included everything.
How will people remember this place? What will be the defining characteristic of this place? Like when we move and people are trying to like talk about Wii games?
The stairs.
Yeah, they'll always be like, the place where you fell down the stairs. And I'll be like, okay, yeah. I mean, just stairs in general. Like our next place may have stairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I fell down the stairs here, so that's probably a good one. But also the Wii wall. Especially because, like, in the burning room. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is probably not going to change.
No.
While we live here. Because we're going to get all the Wii games up here for Extra Life, and then next year's Extra Life will also be Wii. So there will be no incentive to take the games down.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Wii wall. The next place we live will not have a Wii wall. There will just be games. So
piles of games
stacked. Trying to get to anything will be impossible. 21 months from Rachel. I Spy Moose. Thank you. 300 bits from Shishisama. Good morning. Woke up way earlier than intended because I've got a day off and need to fast for a doctor's appointment later today, but it's fine. I have leftover pizza for after. Nice.
Something to look forward to.
Now I want pizza. It's a little early for pizza, and yet I want it.
How about you eat your cinnamon roll, and I'll read alerts.
You offered. No problem.
Oh, be careful. I just see that going into your lap. Because you're holding it like this.
Mallory, unlike you slopped your dripper, and also you needed
I got a
napkin?
crumb on my...
You needed... Why did you touch it?
Because...
You also eat these things with a spoon, which I find... I find bizarre.
I used the spoon to scoop the frosting. And then I was like, I don't want to get another utensil dirty, so I'll just use the spoon.
Yeah, but you're discounting this a little bit. You use a spoon for things I use a fork for.
Yeah.
Like, very regularly.
Yeah.
And I find that very odd. There's probably things that I use a fork for that other people would find that odd, too.
Yes.
I don't know. Forks are for eating. Spoons are for soups. That's how I feel.
We have a 2-month resub from Arpiga. Thank you. And a 10-month resub from ZZ64. Haven't been able to watch live for a while, but I got a new job, which allows me to watch live again. Excited to be back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hope your new job is going well.
Yeah. That's exciting to start something new. MinPanda33 resub for 18 months. Good morning, all. Hope everyone is having a good week. You too.
So far, so good.
Yeah, it's just hot
Yeah.
here. It is so hot.
Yeah, I mean, we had been really enjoying going for walks.
And then it got way too hot.
And yeah, it's been that way too. It's kind of been up and down in terms of like the temperatures and what we can withstand. And we can get around it by walking at like 8. But now
It's still hot at 8.
Well, that's one thing.
Oh,
It's still hot at 8, and then the other thing is that we're starting to lose daylight again.
Yeah.
So that's a gradual process that's happening, which is making me sad. That's one thing I really love about summer is that like it's 9 p.m. and it's daylight, and you're like, yeah, daylight. Soon it'll be 6 p.m. and
It
it'll
already
be pitch
feels
black.
like it's 97 outside, and it's 9:30 in the morning.
Coffee!
The heat index is at 97.
Yeah, see, 97 degrees at 9 a.m. should be illegal. And
Which
yet,
is 60 or 36 Celsius.
And yet we have not yet arrested the sun. Anyway.
We have not arrested the sun.
Somehow.
Iker5 Villa resub for 3 months and said nice.
Nice.
Ollie Tomlinson Music resub for 12 months. Thanks for the 1-year clap.
Thank you, Ollie.
Did you make a noise as you ate that?
It seemed appropriate at the time.
Squid of Baconator sent 300 bits and said, "Good morning, everyone. My mood isn't the greatest this morning. I attempted to stream some Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, but it ran pretty badly on my computer. Not sure if I need to lower some settings or if my computer is just that bad. This really sunk my good mood."
Well, my first thing would be to try lowering the settings. Different games do different things. Like, some of them, when you install them for the first time, they're set to, like, middle-of-the-road settings. Some of them automatically optimize, and then some of them are, like, high settings. So, if you run it for the first time and it does not run good, that's not necessarily an indication that you cannot play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, but not necessarily. So I would try lowering some of the settings. And then the other thing to remember is that, you know, if you're playing on PC, even, and this is not a slight against consoles, but like even on lower settings, it still looks better than consoles most of the time. So something to keep in mind.
Uchi Plays gifted 5 subs, and they went to Poke Piku, Fast Kurian, Trevbot 911, Perhaps Mumbo, that's a good name, Perhaps Mumbo, and Jedi Zach. Thank you, Ichi Plays.
Perhaps Mumbo.
Unreal.
That was Banjo considering what to do with his handful of tokens.
Unreal Zoroark gifted 5 subs to Genophilia, Sage August, Kimikawa, Saj61, and Hero Chaos Chow.
Thank you, Unreal. There's so many gift subs this morning.
There were a lot. Lots of milk. There's milk in that frosting. And cream cheese.
Uh-huh.
DC Racer 329 resub for 8 months and said, wow, 8 months. 1 more month till Twitch, baby.
Almost there. Mal reading alerts is one of my favorite things. It doesn't happen all that often, but it's always a joy.
Eat your cinnamon roll.
It's like one of my favorite occurrences.
Link 25255 gifted sub to Pop Sky. Thank you.
Thank you, Link.
Retro Remedies resub for 7 months. Morning. I start work tomorrow since I lost my job during times and had to find another. But also my car's in the shop. This can only go well.
If your car's in the shop, though, it'll come out and be better. That's what I hear about shops.
I mean, when we took our car to the shop, that's how it worked. Is this blowing your mind?
Sorry, I'm still focusing on eating this thing.
Okay.
Really appreciated getting permission to work on this.
Okay. Furious Kitty resub for 12 months. 12-month clap. Thank you. Steven, you can't poke fun at me when singing about not eating your cinnamon roll.
I'm just trying to eat, and suddenly now I've gotta come up with some lyrics somehow. I'm trying to enjoy this, it tastes so good, but apparently singing is what I should be doing instead of eating.
That was 5,000 bits from Mr. Game Boy, who said you can't poke fun at Mal when you're singing about not eating your cinnamon roll.
That was so sweet.
Yeah, that was all the frosting. Drink some coffee. You have no sugar or cream in it.
Oh my god. All of the... Yeah. Yeah. Nah.
When you shake your head like that, your hair just wiggles.
Ugh. Ugh. When you're a child, you crave the sugar.
I mean, I still
crave.
do.
You walk up to the man in the deli and you say, "Give to me the sugar." But as you get older,
and you have teeth sensitivity?
That's part of it. And then also, just as a general concept, you are now as tall as the man in the deli and you approach it. Why is it the deli? Did I mean bakery?
Yes.
Anyway, same guy. You approach the guy at the deli and you say, "Give to me less of the sugar." That's basically the story. Child, I still crave the sugar.
You gonna be okay? Andrew in the kitchen sent 300 bits. Good morning, grandparents. I was wondering whether you've heard of Colin the caterpillar. He was the best caterpillar. Thomas will back me up. Toasty.
Apparently Thomas was streaming
Coffee.
a caterpillar game.
Caterpillar game?
I don't know. I have no idea what the context is. If it involves Thomas, it must have been something for Banana Month. Is Banana Month still going on, right? Please don't tell me it's been an entire month. Colin is a gift in wild. Thomas has been having a lot of fun over on his streams. And he streams more often than me, so if you need something to watch.
Banana month is still going.
If you need somebody to watch, watch Thomas.
Are you good now?
Yeah,
Do you want this back?
No, you're doing great.
Do you want this back? Colin the Caterpillar is a cake in the UK and it's sweet.
You cut open the caterpillar? Is that what I'm hearing? Show me this thing that exists. I want to see it. That, man, I wasn't ready for that.
It's like a Swiss roll. It's a decorated Swiss roll.
I mean, I like cake, but the older I get, I want just a little cake.
You prefer cookies.
I think maybe I prefer cookies because I can control my intake. So real talk.
What do you mean?
No.
You
They'll
can
no. They'll know exactly what I mean, and so will you. Here's the deal. You got a cake, right? Having a slice of cake is an event. Having a slice of cake is an event. You pre-decide how much cake you're going to have. You don't have 2 slices of cake. That's not the thing. I mean, can you? Sure, you're a person, you can do whatever you want. But, like, that's not a thing. When you have a slice of cake, you are deciding ahead of time how much cake you want, and you're cutting that cake off. But when you have a cookie,
You can just eat them all.
well, you can continue to eat cookies. It is socially acceptable to have more than one cookie.
So you're not controlling how much you eat. You just eat whatever.
Well, it is.
I would say you make more of a choice with the cake.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're at the party, you're at the party, they serve cake, you're going to receive your slice of cake. But if you're at a party and there's a cookie tray,
You're going to just inhale them all.
That's not the point. The point is you get to control, because one cookie is going to be less than eating one slice of cake. So if you want a cookie, and you're like, I'm going to have this cookie, and you're sated, then you're done. If you decide later you want another cookie, you can do that. You're not going to be at the party and then go back up to the host and be like, remember like 45 minutes ago when I had a slice of cake? Can I have another slice of cake? Like, you're not going to do that. It's just not acceptable. But if there's a cookie tray, 45 minutes later, you can be like, you know what? Now I would like to partake in another cookie. And that is why cookies are better, because you don't have to like agree. You don't have to make a contractual obligation to a particular size slice of cake at a particular moment in time when you may not even be ready for it. You ever arrive to a party late and like the food is already out and you're like, okay, I'm going, and you're eating and you're finishing the food when they're like, we're gonna slice the cake, and you're like, crap, I made it here a little bit late, so now they're slicing the cake and I'm not ready for the cake. And then they put the cake, so you've got like a slice of pepperoni pizza and a cake on your plate. It's a lot of effort. Everyone should serve cookies.
Jess
says, you have some very strange personal cake rules that normal people don't have.
I made cookies for my grandma's party, the 90th party.
Yeah.
I made those little sandwich cookies, the red velvet ones.
Oh, and those are good.
And they were gone. Like,
you know why they were gone?
they were gone before anyone ate real food. It was great.
And that's the great thing.
Yeah.
That's the great thing. There are no rules about cookies. There are no rules. And the other thing is, you can keep eating them, and nobody gonna judge you.
See, we have those bananas downstairs. Or are we down to 2 now?
We're down to 2.
See, if we had 3, I was thinking about making banana cookies.
I need to read. 300 bits from Line Rider. I'm updating my laptop's RAM this week from 8 gigs to the maximum of 20. 4 gigs is soldered in, other 4 is replaceable up to 16. Also this week I'm finally starting to build my Animal Crossing island to my custom design after tearing the default town down in June. Dig, dig, thwap. Well, good luck on your Animal Crossing island, and also that is a jump
Yeah.
from 8 to 20. Nice. I often feel limited by the amount of RAM in my computer, because when I bought my MacBook Pro, the maximum amount of RAM was 16. And it was another year or two before the MacBook Pro supported 32 or something. So I have 16, and Mao has 24.
Yes. So
Mao has a substantial amount more than I do. But I just tell myself, it's fine.
It's fine.
Because my next computer will have, like, 64 or something. There will be more RAM. Next time. Unreal Zora Arc with the 5 subs to Lil Rose Ninja, Cool Fats, Crystal Nix, Kaitu, 1412, and Lingering Rhyme. Unreal, thank you.
Unreal's been just like 5
I
subs.
know.
5 subs.
I know. What does that remind me of? Oh, it's a Super Mario. It's not the Super Mario RPG song. It's just a sound I was making with my mouth, but it was the lead up to the battle music. I was filling out the schedule last night,
Yes.
and it occurred to me that Mario RPG and Breath of the Wild start the exact same week on YouTube. And I'm like, man, people's heads are gonna spin on YouTube. Like, if they haven't been, like, paying too much attention to Twitch and they're not even sure what's coming, that's gonna be crazy. Like, Super Mario RPG starts, and then Breath of the Wild starts. And I'd previously, up to this point, told people that Breath of the Wild was replacing Smash, but I felt like it made more sense to make that the weekend LP, like Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yes.
So, does it matter at all because they come out at the same time? No. But that's what I ended up doing. So, like, so there's a week in the very middle of August where it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Mario RPG starts. Then the first 20 of Aloris, which was the last thing that we recorded for our first 20. And then that Saturday, Breath of the Wild starts. So, yeah. That's going to be a week. And then both of those are slotted in for a while. Like, Mario RPG's 3 months long. So, August to September, September to October, October to November. So, until November. Did I have that right?
I haven't been paying attention
August,
because you're just like throwing out dates and stuff, and I'm just like, all right, I'll join the conversation when you're done.
Yeah, I guess like until November. I don't know. Anyway.
Good morning, Jules.
Hi, Jules. Hope you're doing well. Jules, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. If anyone didn't see the little Nintendo mini direct that happened, I know some folks weren't like incredibly thrilled about the individual news that happened in the direct, but one thing that you got to be excited about is that Jules was mentioned by name as a part of the Cadence of Hyrule DLC, and that's just cool.
Yeah.
That's just really cool. Mike says Jules is Nintendo famous. Jules is Nintendo famous. So.
You were just talking about Jules yesterday. You were like, someday we'll get out there and visit and we'll make a ton of crazy videos.
I don't know that we'll make a ton of crazy videos, but would I be down and willing to make a video? I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Jules says yes.
Yeah, I would. That'd be a lot of fun, and I think I've thought more about that, and then as an extent, as a connected part of that, just like traveling.
Yeah.
Like I miss traveling, and I miss people so much that when I feel like when I'm finally able to do it, I want to see everybody and do all of the things.
When we were in the car going to the
Bite off more than I can
recycling center yesterday to take our cardboard, we were like, we could just drive to see Thomas.
We did talk about it, and I was like, Mallory, it's like it's 13 hours one way.
I was like, we could take turns. And I was like, we don't even need to get a hotel. Then we'll just take turns. We'll get there. We'll take turns coming back.
It's like nothing would happen. Nothing, like, we wouldn't be able to enjoy ourselves at all.
We'd get there and be like, all right, hi, Thomas. Okay, bye.
You know, will there come a day? Will there come a day? Yeah. Yeah. But it's not yet. Should I say exactly what song it was that was playing yesterday that I was like, see, we should do a cover of this. This is the cover that Jules should do.
Yes.
You know, I have an eclectic collection of music. Is anyone familiar with Dollar Mendy and the hit song Tune-Up, Tune-Up, Tune? Anyway, that song came up and I was like, Mal, this is...
It's a really good song.
It's a really good song.
Such high energy.
There's too many people saying no, and woo, man, I'm gonna make sure that y'all know about that by the time this is all over. Anyway, Dollar Mendy is a Indian treasure, and it's a great song. So that would be a good one. I don't know all the lyrics very well because it is not in my language.
But you would learn them.
But I would learn them. I would learn them so hardcore. Sab says I know that because of the vlog. Now I'm like, when did we... That kind of sounds like we woke people up with it.
Did you see what Joel said?
Oh. Sab says when you woke up Dan for class too. Yeah, I figured that was probably why. God, it's a good song. There's some other really good songs by Dollar Mendy, but anyway. I like a lot of music. Let me get back to reading these things. 16 months from Sudabite. I feel like there's a reference I'm supposed to make at this number, but I can't remember it. 16 was a long time ago? Nailed it. Wiggle time. Stop. Wiggle time. 301 bits from Tendacrout with the Aw Beans rain. 250 bits from Iker5 Via. Appreciate it.
They commented earlier, I saw in chat, and said that it was Iker.
Iker. So is it Via or Villa? You don't know that part.
No, I don't.
We'll just say Iker. We'll just say Iker as a way to shorten it. That seems like a good compromise there. We've got we got 6 months from Trent 2L. Hey Stephen Mel. Hope you're enjoying Breath of the Wild. It's one of the most in Zelda. It's one of the most Zelda. What does it say? It's one of the most in Zelda-like Zelda game in the best kind of way. Friday is my new favorite day. Love you, internet grandparents. Stay strong during these rough times. Breath of the Wild is my favorite Zelda game.
It's good.
It's
Un-Zelda-like.
Un-Zelda-like. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, and it was supposed to be a unit. Probably got corrected to an I. Yeah, it sounds kind of bad when I say it like that, because I'm like, my favorite Zelda game is the one that was very much not like
You
Zelda.
like that style of game, though.
I do.
So
I just do.
It's cool that the style of game that you like is a Zelda game.
I'm friggin' thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
I am so, and I talked about this, I think I talked about it on Friday a little bit, but it's been so nice for me because I love Skyrim and I love Fallout and I love Red Dead. Like, these are just some of my favorite games on Earth. And Breath of the Wild, you know, it's my favorite Zelda officially. Like, it took very little time for that to happen.
Yes. We're not very far into the game, and you're like, I love this.
But my question now is where is it going to end up sitting, not as a Zelda game, but as a game?
Yeah.
For me. Like, by the time we're done with this, how am I going to feel with this as a game? Because there's a good chance that I'm going to like this a lot. So, I'm stoked. And, like, nothing against the Zelda series, but, like, Zelda games have never sat in the realm of, like, my favorite game.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Have they been fun? Yeah. And have they had a huge effect on, like, gaming pop culture and games as, you know, as a concept? Well, of course. But have they been my favorite games? No. No. But this one might actually... This one might become a favorite game.
Maybe.
Let's see. 300 bits from Summer Essentia. Morning. I finally returned to my student apartment and am now living on my own again. That means I actually have to think about how I spend money, so I probably won't be sending many bit messages going forwards, but I'll be in chat as often as I can. Well, I'm glad you'll be able to hang out.
Yeah.
That is...
And living on your own is exciting.
I mean, yeah.
I remember my first night, I know I was, like, in a college dorm, not, like, you know, in an apartment or anything. But, like, that first week really was kind of scary.
Yeah.
I was actually sick the first night I had to stay in my dorm because I was so anxious about starting that new chapter of my life.
I adjusted to living on my own well.
Yeah.
I think it surprised my parents. I think they wanted me to be just a little more distraught than I was, but I was like, no, this is fine. They're like, do you miss home? And I'm like, no.
I mean, I was excited, but I was very anxious.
Yeah. When that's very normal. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are very anxious. Brandon says all parents want you to miss home. Fair. Saib says she was the same way. Yeah. I mean, I just, you know, I liked home. I had a great home life, great, you know, upbringing. But as soon as I was on my own, like I didn't have a single night where I was homesick, ever. It just didn't happen. I was just like, no, this is now life, and this is what's next, and I'm here.
Yeah. I mean, I had moved out of my mom's house like a month prior because I was, my dad lived closer to where I was going to school. So I was living with him for about a month, and then I moved into my dorm, and it was like right before classes started. That's when I was freaked out.
Yeah. I also ended up seeing my parents regularly.
Yeah.
Because
they were visiting.
Because they missed me very badly, and they ended up coming to visit. They just came to visit in the middle of every quarter, and the quarters were only 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So every 5 weeks they would come for like a weekend or even if it was just a day.
Yeah.
And that ended up being really cool because all my roommates got to really get to know them.
Yeah.
You know, because we'd all go out to eat. So
I think it was also it made me anxious when we first got our first apartment.
Yeah.
Because like that was the first time I was paying rent. And like
that was a different fear. That was a different fear. That was a legit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also had different fears because I was not working. There was a lot of things about Colombia that was a fright.
Yeah.
But we made it.
We made it.
666 bits from Furious Kid. Brain fog. I hope your brain fog clears.
I think I might need another coffee.
Unless you're referring to mind, in which case it's just a constant reminder of my brain and who I am.
Thomas said meeting him was a fright.
Meeting Thomas was a fright?
That's what he said.
Nah, meeting Thomas was a joy.
It was a joy.
Meeting Thomas was a joy.
I was a little anxious at first, like, just because it was, like, before we actually got there to have dinner at Zaz. But, I mean, I always am before I meet someone. So.
Yeah. Sorry. Jules said that Adriana says my brain is like Silent Hill.
Renee says you can't be scared of Thomas. I didn't know him yet. We had talked in like text for like a couple days.
Yeah, Thomas sent us a lamp.
Yeah. And then he was like, "Hey, we should meet sometime. I live here too."
And then we did.
Yeah.
And that was a good that ended up being a very good addition.
Yes. Thomas is great.
Thomas says I was a little hungover. Also, in retrospect, knowing what we know about what lamps mean in the context of like the community,
Yeah.
now it just feels very ominous.
Thomas sent us a lamp.
Like both in our community and then later the Runaway Guides, lamp is basically a shorthand 4-letter word for like pure entity of evil. Like an all-knowing big brother character that watches over things. So the fact that Thomas gave us a lamp is now frightening. It's like, oh.
Do we still have that lamp?
No. No, that was one. That was the really tall one.
Yeah.
And then at some point it broke. I don't know. Maybe like a cat knocked it over?
Maybe.
Something
I don't
broke.
remember.
I think maybe just after some amount of time the socket stopped working or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Like it ceased to function. It's fine. Throw everything away. Okay. 345 bits from Eker, who says, I've been talking to my girlfriend over the internet since February, and we're about to link up where I live. Any advice? I mean, if you've been talking since February, you probably don't really need much advice.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've been talking for, what is that? Almost 6 months?
I think 6 months.
Yeah, that's 5 months, 5 or 6 months. That's a good long amount of time. Have fun.
Yeah. I would say maybe plan a few things to do. Like,
Yeah.
not every day, every moment, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's also, it's hard to plan certain things,
Breakfast.
you know.
Breakfast.
It's hard to plan certain things in the context of, like, a pandemic.
Yeah.
And, like, I get that. But there's still some things that you can
But you
can
came
do.
to visit me first.
Yeah.
When we were long distance and over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, like, a handful of things that I could be like, well, here's this thing that we can do at any time. We've been sitting around. We need something to do. Let's go hiking where I always went hiking growing up.
Yeah.
And then we went and did it.
And that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. Some of the best activities, especially like when you're just starting dating, like they don't cost anything.
Yeah.
Because all that you really want to do is spend time with the other person, and finding new interesting environments to spend time with the other person is nice. People are asking for beans. Double beans cannot exist as a concept. They can't. They can't. We cannot do double beans. Because if we do double beans, the problem is, where would it stop? Then people would want, you know, triple beans or quad beans. Can't do it. There can only be one beans. It's the rules. Jill says, make sure you get your cootie shot. I like how there's other information in that, and
Like,
that's what I
Treat girls
gleaned.
like humans, but...
That's what I gleaned, was get your cootie shot. Gleaned no other information from that. I was like, cootie shot, okay. Anyway. Chick from Neptune gives us up to Retur63. Appreciate that. Hearing bits from Aldo says, good morning, grandparents. Which old sitcom are we going to talk about today? We covered just about all of them. We covered like 5, and I'm like, that's all of them.
All of them. And most of them were from, like,
100%.
the 60s. Skipping over...
You know what's funny? After Thursday's breakfast stream ended, like, I pulled up a clip of the Bob Newhart show, since Mal had never seen it before, and I was like, Mal, watch this. And I was surprised. I was like, this is funny. This was funny then, and is still funny now, and that's hard. That's very hard. I liked it.
And then we watched Supermarket Sweep.
Yeah, I really thought that Supermarket Sweep was going to be just like a thing that we watched like 2 of,
And then we were like,
and
okay,
then start
let's
a
watch
show.
a show.
And now I'm realizing that no, we're finishing Supermarket Sweep. We're in too deep. We're just gonna finish the whole thing that they have on Netflix, and that's fine. It's a good show. Anyway, at some point, after this, are you still mad about Supermarket Sweep? I mean, it's fine. When we're watching it, there's certainly teams that make questionable decisions, and then they pay for them.
We watched a short clip of someone doing like the worst run.
There was a clip on YouTube we saw. It was like I think it was called like Epic Fail Supermarket Sweep, and it's incredible. It's incredible. Like, anyone that's watched the show knows that during the big sweep, like,
anything you put in your cart is your total. Like, they ring it all up.
Yeah. And generally in this era of Supermarket Sweep, it's very normal for the prices to range
between $600 and like $1,300.
$600 and $1,300 is about, with the average being, well, usually the team that has the lowest time is probably averaging around like $800 to $900, and then the higher teams, if they have close to like 3 full minutes, are going closer to like $1,300. So this video that we watched, the guy,
the base time plus 10 seconds.
I think so.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So he only had 1:40. And one of the bonuses that you can get is the host will give out 3 items. And if you can bring back those 3 items, you get a bonus of like $250. So he names these 3 items. And like, you know, is it worth $250 if you can grab them? I guess, yeah. But like, it's not the most vital thing. Because
it's only $250, and people with the time that he had are getting $600.
Yeah. Anyway, when it starts, he doesn't even take his shopping cart. He just runs out, and he's looking for these 3 items. And the dude is having a hard time finding these 3 items. By the time it's over, 1:40 passes, he has not found all 3 items. He's found like 2.
So you don't get the...
So he doesn't get the bonus.
He gets whatever they're worth.
He gets whatever they're worth. So they're reading the totals, and they're like, so your total is $7. And I was like... And I think it was a husband-wife pair.
Yeah.
So, like, the husband is the one doing all the running, and the wife, like, you can just see the divorce, like, filling in her eyes. Like, as he's out there, like, looking for the very specific brand of deodorant.
It's like he's never seen the show before, and she didn't explain it.
It was incredible. Like when I think of doing poorly on the show, I would have never imagined that $7 was possible. But it's just someone that decided that they were going to spend all of their time getting this thing. But like, again, I have opinions about how the game could be played. I don't know why people don't spend more time in the medicines.
Yeah.
It seems so obvious to me.
Because you can get, like, the medicine, you can get hair color.
Just boom.
Lotion
boom,
can be expensive,
boom.
like face cream.
Like, I understand people going up the meat aisle because it's like, you know, $100 here, $100 there, right?
Uh-huh.
But that stuff's heavy. And
then
like,
you have a heavy cart to push.
Exactly.
I'm sure this sounds crazy to people who have never seen the show.
Anyway, it's on Netflix, and you can probably find clips of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you watch the big sweep portion, which is like 5 minutes, you'll get the entire show.
That's really the part everyone watches the show to see.
You'll immediately understand. Totally legit licensed clips. It's on YouTube. Not my problem. I got distracted. We got a sub from Olivia Ray 1776. Welcome. 11 months from Bucky Boy 2009. 1 + 1 is 11, right? Quarantine brain. Yeah. That's how it works. 21 months from Sephiroth. Trying to find a good sub message, but I keep getting distracted by the cinnamon roll. I mean, that's an easy thing to get distracted by. I'm so glad that they're done, though.
Yes.
No more
cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon distractions. 300 bits from Waste and Am. Morning, Stephen Amount. I'm happy to say that one of my best friends is getting married this weekend. On another news, dry cleaning messed up my formal pants and shrunk it down several sizes, so I guess I gotta go pant hunting now. Good luck with that. I hate dressing up. And, like, I hate dressing up, and I hate trying on clothes, so that's literally my hell. Like, trying on clothes for a wedding is the worst part of my life. I don't like it. Sorry to everyone whose wedding I've ever been in. Spoilers, I didn't enjoy dressing up for it.
Coffee.
I liked your outfit for Austin's wedding.
I don't remember
He picked
what
a good outfit.
I don't even remember what I wore.
It was like a blue shirt and gray pants. No tie.
Brandon says, how about your wedding? I would have wore jeans if I had the choice. You know, marriage is about give and take and making compromises. And one of the compromises was that we wore sandals.
We had gone to a store, and I knew they had the suit you ended up in for rent. And I was like, this is what I'm thinking. And we get there, and they're trying to sell us suits. And I'm like, I wanted something tan. And they were like, we don't sell anything tan. I'm like, but I saw it online. And they're like, oh, well, that's our rentals. And I'm like, well, that's what we want.
Yeah, I just don't like... It's all... What's that? There's like... Just the feeling of being like... You know what I mean? Is there a word? Constricted? Maybe?
See, I love wearing dresses.
I don't feel like a dress.
I have my prom dress downstairs, and I have it because Lindsay wants to have like a dinner party someday where we all dress up, and I have my prom dress.
That sounds like a drip or slopping and waiting to happen, man. You remember when we were on the cruise and we all had to dress up?
And you spilled stuff, and I didn't?
I ruined Alex's suit.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to eat. It's fine. It turns out the ravioli, you're supposed to stab it with the fork as opposed to lifting it.
And lifting it this high above the plate where it can fall in.
I felt bad. To this day, I actually still feel bad about it. I think about it every once in a while. 500 bits from Turtle Dragoon. Hello and good morning. Quick question. How do you guys like your coffee? I can only drink mine black. I can drink mine ways other than black, but I choose not to. I drink mine. I also drink mine black, preferably. Mal...
Scoop of sugar and a splash of cream.
Mal over time has lowered her sugar.
Yeah.
But it hasn't lowered in like a year. I think you got it down to
There's a little bit of sugar now. I don't...
Oh, it's a tablespoon.
Yeah. I had it down to a teaspoon. I needed it to be sweeter. I got tired of drinking it that way.
So wait, you went back up?
Yes.
The other day I saw you put a tablespoon of sugar in your coffee and I was like, I didn't say anything because I knew that you had worked your way down, so I was still feeling proud of you. I was like, oh, she's worked down. But then I was thinking, Christ, how much was she putting in before?
2.
2 tablespoons?
Yeah, like a long time ago.
It's fine. And there's nothing wrong with sugar in coffee. There's nothing wrong with cream in coffee. It's just a lot. As someone who drinks their coffee black, the idea of having that much sugar in the coffee is like not appealing. Like every once in a while, if we go to a Starbucks, I'll try whatever Mal gets, and I'm just like, I just immediately start shaking. It's too much. I like getting the what's the cold one that's black?
Cold brew.
Is that what it is? That's what I like. 500 bits from Mr. Gameboy. Did you watch the mini direct yesterday? If yes, what was your favorite part? Mine was the new Cadence of Hyrule DLC. Won't go further just in case you don't want to be spoiled on details. So I know we talked about that a little bit earlier. I actually did not watch the whole direct. I saw the part about the Cadence of Hyrule DLC because I knew that Jules was in it. And then I read a summary of the things that happened. But I still count that as knowing what happened. So. But there, I mean, it was a mini direct, so there wasn't a whole lot of information in there. There was Cadence of Hyrule, Shin Megami Tensei, and then a game that they talked about and then came out that day. Something, I forget. Grandpa, it was only 10 freaking minutes. I know, but there was only 2 minutes to read about. So, you know. Wrestling game. No, that's not what I was thinking of. There's a different thing, wasn't there? There was a wrestling game, but there was something else. Now I don't remember what it was. Rogue Company. That's it. Yeah. Rogue Company, which then also launched. So I'm, you know, there's nothing wrong with them doing a mini direct and releasing little bits of information. I am obviously, you know, holding out and hoping for some other things.
Yeah.
There's some other things, but you know, they can take their time. You know, the world's weird. They can whatever they want to do. I'm still playing Animal Crossing. 100 bits from Danny T. Danny, thank you. 15 months from Nerdy Revelries. I don't like cookies, so I shouldn't have a stake in this, but cake is way better than cookies. You know you can make yourself a cake, right, Steven? I stand by this idea that cake is a commitment. It's such a commitment. Cookies are so much more casual than cake.
Yeah.
It's like, you just like, oh, I baked some cookies. Oh, okay. I baked a cake. Whoa. What's the occasion? You know what I mean? You just chill like, oh, I'm gonna have a cookie. Okay, that's normal. It's before dinner and everything's fine. I must have a slice of cake. Why? You can't just go around willy-nilly eating cake. We have to sit down for this. Light a candle. Turn on some music. Maybe not those last things. 300 bits from Satsy. So, now we've introduced you to Colin the creepy chocolate caterpillar. Please look up a gala pie and try to figure out what it is.
Oh, not Spotify.
A gala pie? You got a picture? What in God's name? It's a meat pie. It's a meat pie and it's got egg in it.
It looks like a meatloaf.
Yeah.
But
with a crust.
Without ketchup.
Yeah.
And egg in it.
Huh. I wonder if they do the egg
Let's see.
in a way where it's the same way throughout. I don't know.
It looks like you hard boil the eggs, and it's pork sausage, minced pork, bacon, ginger mace pepper.
Is it served
You would probably
cold?
like it if it's warm.
I would not eat that cold, but I'm very particular about warm and cold things. So Etsy says, yes, it is served cold. Well,
Burger cake.
if they warmed it for me, then I would be fine with it. I'm like that about a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
though.
You don't want things cold.
There's a lot of things that are normal, even in the States, there's a lot of things that are normally served cold, and I will request them to be warmed. I'm just like... But would I eat a meat cake with an egg and everything? Would
Yeah.
I eat that if it was served hot? Yeah. Yeah, I would eat that.
Steven doesn't like if we do avocados on toast, he doesn't like the avocado room temp. You will like it warm. You heat it.
Yeah.
And then you put it on your toast.
Yeah. Whenever we make avocado toast, I mash up the avocado and then I put it in the microwave for 40 seconds. And then I spread it on my toast. So it's served hot. This is causing some problems with some people I see. Wow. Don't need a poll for this one. You would hate your scrambled eggs cold, I'd guess. Yeah, there's no way I would eat cold scrambled eggs. Under, like... Okay, no, I would eat them if they were mixed in with salsa. If the salsa was served chilled, then I would eat them. Would you wear a cold meat dress? No.
What about deviled eggs? Do you like deviled eggs, or is that just me?
I don't really care much for deviled eggs. If I'm in an environment where it is socially impolite to not eat them, I can eat them, but I don't really like them, no. Thoughts on quiche? Yeah, it's fine. When it's hot. When it's hot. I've got, you know, I've got things. PK Magical says cold salsa. Well, salsa is cold. Salsa is almost certainly always served chilled, at least in the States. It may not be served chilled elsewhere, but like...
Maybe room temp here.
Yeah.
But...
Chilled or room temp.
Mm-hmm.
It's not ever sold or served hot. Although there was that one night, many, many years ago, that my brain farted bad, and I was convinced that salsa was always served hot. And after heating the salsa up and dipping one chip into it, my brain was like, this is not a thing. Mouse still rags on me about that sometimes.
Cold pizza? No, can't do cold pizza.
Surprisingly, I don't have a problem with cold pizza.
Oh, I do.
I would prefer it hot, but I can eat it cold, and it's not that big of a problem. Usually. We talk about this forever. 3D bits from Wizard grad student. I'm on break now between work and classes, but I'm still up to seeing breakfast stream. Y'all are tempting me with a good time to get me up at a reasonable hour. Good. Good. Wake up and get started at a reasonable hour of the day. 11 months from Padawan Becca. Appreciate it. Thank you, Becca. 200 bits from Mad Riddler. We got 500 bits from Ice and Fire 2114. Steven has a very strong feelings on cookies versus cake. And again, it's not that I don't like cake. I love cake. It's just there's a lot of pressure about cake that doesn't exist with cookies. If cake...
You have very strong opinions on things, food-wise.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I'm willing to tell everyone what they are. It would be different. You know those little, are they just called cake balls? Is that what?
Cake pops.
Cake pops?
Yes.
So, like, if you were the place that had a reasonable amount of cake pops, right?
A reasonable amount.
Well, yeah, because sometimes it's a thing where, like, everyone gets one cake pop, and it's like, oh, thanks, Belinda, I wanted one bite. But if you had a bunch, right, so everyone felt comfortable returning for seconds or thirds or whatever, then it would be the same thing as a cookie. That would be totally fine. But to have a slice of cake, again, this is such a mental commitment, and you have to eat it with a fork? Ugh. It's way too much effort. 200 bits from Olivia Ray. Olivia, thanks. 300 bits from Maximin. No, I will buy a cake at Walmart for $5.99 and eat it all, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. So, like, if you're at home, by yourself, maybe just you and roommates or significant other, and you buy a cake, and you want as much cake as you want, that's totally fine. This hypothetical is existing in the world of you're at a party with other people, where it's impolite to request multiple slices of cake. Steven has cake commitment problems. It's just... you have a slice and that's it. Nothing I've said this morning has not made sense. Everything I've said has made perfect sense.
Except heating avocado.
People do feel differently about that, and I have read what they have said, and I understand. Also, anyone that's anyone that's thinking about avocado being warm is bad, you could try it. You could try it.
It turns like ultra green. It's so weird.
There's a smell that comes out because it's heated. It's fine. I just don't like it. I don't like it cold.
It's room temp. They sit on the counter.
That's not warm enough. That's the problem. That's why I heat it. Also, you know who else heats their avocado for their toast? This might be why I do this.
Your mom?
My mother.
Yeah.
And I had never... My mom never... So this is the important distinction here. This is something that happened...
Separately.
Completely separate. Mm-hmm. Never in my life have I ever eaten avocado toast at home. Mom never served me that. That's never something I ate. But on my own, when I started finally eating avocado and putting it on toast and trying it myself, on my own...
You found that you prefer it heated. Mm-hmm.
And I had mentioned that one time to my mom, and she started laughing. She's like, I do the exact same thing. And I'm like, I knew it. That's why I do it. 300 bits from Danny. She says, I've been playing Animal Crossing daily since a couple weeks after it came out. I've yet to experience a meteor shower. I've seen one shooting star, and all I want is a wand to change my clothes. Has this happened to anyone else? Matt, what's that website?
There's a website where you can put in your weather, like, you do it, like, at the top of the hour, like, oh, it is 1 p.m., it's sunny. And then you do that over a certain amount of time, and it figures out what your weather pattern is, and then it'll predict for you when you get meteor showers.
So you probably type in, like, Animal Crossing weather calculator or something. Look into that, because that will help
Noah.
you. Yeah, Noah's got it. You'll have to track it for a little bit, but if you do...
And if you catch things like rainbows, like if you get a rainbow and you can put that in, that'll help narrow it down quickly.
Yeah, but definitely do that, because then you'll be able to predict to the day when you get a meteor shower, and you'll finally be able to get all that stuff. So, yeah, that goes for, anyone else that is having trouble catching that sort of thing. Within our group, it's been really easy, because we've had so many people playing that they would announce to our group, like, hey, I'm having a meteor shower tonight, so.
Some people haven't seen rainbows. I haven't seen a real lightning storm in my game. I've seen it on Steven's.
All the time.
Because he gets, like, these crazy storms. I just get rain.
I have lightning in my game. It's unreal how often I feel like it rains and there's crazy lightning all the time.
Yeah.
It just likes to rain for whatever reason. 300 bits from Goldmage. Fun fact, while sea lions can taste flavors with either the same or slightly less sensitivity than humans, they cannot taste sweet flavors. I'm with Steven on sweet flavors. Now, if Steven suddenly turned into a sea lion for just 5 minutes, what would you do?
I mean, would you have your, like, Steven brain inside the sea lion, or would it just be, like, pure sea lion?
Suddenly a mad scientist. Can we put the Steven brain in the sea lion? This is an improvement to the husband, yes.
I mean, wild sea lions might be a little scary.
Yeah, for 5 minutes, a wild sea lion is unleashed in your home. Call the authorities? No, it's me, but I'm a sea lion.
I'd probably, like, touch your head. I've never gotten to touch a sea lion.
That's something that we'll try and fix at some point.
See, if I could be a sea lion for 5 minutes, I'd want to be able to swim. Because when we see them, they glide across the cement.
Yeah.
And then they, like, when they swim, they do, like, this along the side. That would be the fun part. Also, I'd be worried about suddenly 500 pounds upstairs here.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Another animal that cannot taste sweet.
Cats.
Cats. Mm-hmm. Cats have no sense of sweet. So they don't like sugar. I mean, there's certain things they can smell the whatever it is, like the milk byproduct or whatever in, but they can't actually taste sugar. 300 bits from Waste and Aeon. Swedish fact of the day: in Sweden, there's a social norm that when there's one last cookie on the table, you're supposed to not take it in case someone else wants it, as it can seem selfish to be the one who took the last one. I mean, I think that social norm exists in the U.S. as well.
Sometimes. Some people.
I think it's common for us to, like, Well, it
I
could
think
go either
when
way.
you're at a party with people you don't know well, I feel like that would happen more. But like in a group of like close friends,
I think you would still ask.
yeah,
If you don't know the people that you're around, you just don't.
yeah,
Like, in fact, the party's going to end with a single cookie,
yeah,
and then the host eats it. But if you're with people you know, and someone really wants it, they may ask.
like, does anyone want this?
A lot of times, actually, I'll ask, like at my own party, because I want things to go away.
Yeah,
So I'll say, does anyone want that final cookie? And of course, even if someone does, out of politeness, they say no. And then I press them. Or I'll pick someone random at the table and press them. Be like, Dan, you want that cookie? And then he'll either say, yeah, and then he'll eat it. Or he'll say no, and then I'll eat it. This exact scenario has happened like 6 times.
in the Midwest, sometimes it's common to like turn something down 3 times, and then like on the final time you can accept it.
Haley,
But that happens in other places too. So.
Haley was explaining that to me.
Yeah.
And I was saying that that's insane. Because she was talking about the social etiquette of, like, you know, if someone offers you something, you have to continually turn it down and then eventually say yes. And then she was saying that it's rude if you don't continue to offer it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is not the way things work here. I'm going to offer you something, and if you don't want it, then I'm going to say, okay.
See, I didn't really experience it a whole lot. So I think it might be more of a Minnesota thing than like where I was on eastern Wisconsin. So
If I may throw in one, are you sure?
yeah.
If I feel like the person wanted it. But I'm not going to press them. Like, you either want this thing or you don't. That's it. Like, we're not going to have a long discussion about this.
Edgar says I'm in Minnesota and it's awkward and weird. And someone said they were in Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't pass, basically. You know, I've been in environments in the South where I was asked if I wanted something, and I go, no, I'm fine. And someone will be like, you sure now? And then that is a last minute opportunity to change your mind. And I have to read the situation to decide how badly they want me to have a thing. But they're not going to keep asking. They're going to ask once. This is an ad. 300 bits from Dark Overlord. Fun fact about Tunic Toon. The video is CGI and the only actors are himself because he wanted to prove a point that it wasn't beautiful women in his video selling his music, which is why you have such a wild video. Mal and I were discussing that exact thing yesterday.
I had heard that but wasn't sure if it was a thing, and I was telling Steven, he goes, I think I heard that too though.
Yep, because up to that point, apparently that was a thing in Dollar Mendy's music videos. So it's wild. If you've never seen the music video, it's wild. And it's from that beautiful time of early CGI where things are just choices were made and you're like, okay. What's the other one that's got some really wild 3D? There's a Weird Al, it's the parody of Money for Nothing. I don't know what the parody's called, but it's the parody of Money for Nothing. And it's Beverly Hillbillies, isn't it? I think it's Beverly Hillbillies. Anyway, it's the same sort of thing, where the early CGI is just questionable. Let's see. 500 bits from Ravenclaw. Good morning, grandparents. Been a long few days with the brand new kitties. They're quite a handful, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Might I ask, how did y'all train the boys to not bite?
So biting is something they do with their like litter mates to learn behaviors cats need. And if something is moving, they will go after it because they're a predator.
Yep.
And they eat things that move. So if you freeze and like don't move, like they won't bite. You gotta then you can pull away.
What we did is, when we first got the boys, they bit.
Yeah.
Because that's what cats do.
Especially kittens.
So the way we did it is, we would be petting them or whatever. So the first key thing is
your hands are not toys.
You have to make the decision as a pet owner, and this is on you. Like because different people feel differently about this. You have to decide whether humans will ever be toys. Because some people like to play with their cats like that. And that's fine, but you do have to understand that if you decide to go that route, you are going to sign up for a lifetime of that. You're not going to be able to break that behavior a few years in. Once you've made the decision, if you decide, humans are not toys, they are going to have each other, they're going to have toys, and that's going to be what they play with. Whenever you go to pet them, whenever you go to interact with them, if they start to grab onto you, you need to freeze in place and stop moving and just give a very sharp no. And then just hold. And they may like grab or chew or something, but as soon as you stop moving, the play stops. And then as soon as they let go and they stop, biting or whatever, then you can go back to interacting with them. You go back to petting. And if they do it again, same thing. You just stop moving, no. So then they start to associate that. And what
Kitten Lady has a good video on like getting kittens not to bite, which is all these same things too.
And simultaneously while you're doing that, you want to play with them with toys,
especially ones on sticks.
Yeah.
Where your hands aren't nearby.
You want to play with them with toys and praise them during that, so they start to make this association of, when I play with a toy, that's good. Things are cool. I'm allowed to
fun, and it keeps going.
Yes. Yeah. But if I play with a human, the fun stops. I'm told no, that's bad. And the other thing is that you're also training them about no.
Yeah.
Because then that ends up working elsewhere when they get up on the counter and you can say no and they just, get off. So that's my advice. As a result, neither Sagan nor Kepler ever played with people. They never bit anybody. They never, deliberately scratched anybody. Like their entire lives. So it does work. It's hard because you have to really keep at it.
Yeah. You can't just sometimes not do it. You have to do it every time.
That's what I mean whenever I say you have to really make a decision when they're kittens what you want. And if you're someone that you want to rough house with the cat and you want the cat to chew on you, that's fine. Just make sure that you understand from the beginning that this is a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
So.
And they won't know who's okay to do that to and who it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope that
from what I understand, I don't have personal experience raising children, but it's the same with kids. Just from a teacher standpoint, you have to be consistent.
Consistency. 500 bits from Hograth with the beans, Star Rain. 2 months from Withy Hag. It's my anniversary with myself. 1,000 bits from Chick from Neptune. Because Mal wasn't in the lamp bumper last Coliseum, I always worry that the lamp already got her when I rewatch it.
We thought about having me in it.
Well, we decided that it was impossible.
Yeah, because I had to watch the camera and stuff.
So the lamp bumper, it was a lot of fun to make, but because we were limited to just 2 people, we couldn't really do... We needed someone to man the camera.
Yeah.
And, there's some subtle focus pulls in that video, too.
Yeah.
And someone has to hit the marks, and that was Mal. So I know we've talked about it a little bit before, but you can one of the things you can do is there's an app that connects to the Blackmagic, and you can set markers for your focal points, and then all you have to do is touch the button on the app, as long as you have a lens that'll focus by wire, and then it will do all of the focusing for you. So I did all the acting, and then I would, as I hit the marks, Mal could hit a button, and
the focus would go from whatever was in the foreground to Steven slightly further back.
Yeah, so
the shot where you're eating, and then you lean over to turn the lamp off?
Yep.
The focus is on Steven, and then...
As he leaned
forward, I would hit the button, and the focus would shift to the lamp.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
It's hard to see.
It's really fun.
It's fun, though.
I love that you secretly do love it.
It was fun.
It's fun.
It was fun.
It's fun. Making something like that is not something we do a lot of, and it's fun. Film production is fun. But yeah, that's one of the little That's one of the little reasons that it was necessary that we could not have 2 people in the video. Let's see. 500 bits from Gamer Girl. Morning, Stephen and Mal. How are you? I overslept and thought I missed breakfast stream.
Still going at 10:30.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's a lot. We spent a lot of time talking about some things this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is what happened. We got really deep into the debate on cake and cookies.
Avocado.
That didn't help either. Jotre with the 5 milk bombs to Ranza TTV, Light and Glass, Death Insurance, Lucky Dude 39, and Thriva 0. Jotre, thank you. Maximin gives a sub to Double Beans. No. Furious Kid gives 2 subs, 1 to Purple Pollo and 1 to Spirit Tomb 108. Oh, and then also another one here to Ted Switch. Appreciate it. 300 bits from Item Crafting Live, the Supermarket Sweet Player's Guide by Stephen and Mal. I feel like I could write one, having not been on the show.
Yeah.
So really, the secret to winning Supermarket Sweep is just doing really good in the first rounds.
Yeah, so
like,
you have a minute more than everyone else and can go get bonuses.
If you have a minute more than everyone else, you're going to win. Like, unless you're just bad, unless you make terrible choices, you're going to win. It's never worth it to grind the coffee. It's never worth it to get the jelly beans. Do not freaking do these things.
The bread, though.
The bread could be worth it. Mm-hmm. If you know when you get up there and you're fast. Because $250 is more than you get for the coffee and the beans.
And also, like, the regular bonuses, like the inflatable SpaghettiOs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, those can be worth it, but it's random. One of them is going to be the super bonus.
Yeah. Also, if you have the most time and you get the super bonus, you are going to win the game.
Yeah.
You're just going to win. Mm-hmm. You're, like, short of, like, dying in the aisle.
You also really need the mini sweep under, 20 seconds to get the extra $100. Yeah. And the time, yeah.
There's a lot of... I'm going to write this player's guide. 9
months. Do you ever
months.
intend to go on the show? It'd be fun. They're coming out with a new version, or did.
Yeah.
With Leslie Jones as the host.
I gotta tell people this. I bet he's watching right now. So the other day, a week ago, we were talking about Supermarket Sweep because we can't not talk about it. And someone in chat, I believe, was like, you should do Supermarket Sweep, but in Player's Choice as part of like a Coliseum bumper. Anyway, Roland was watching
that day
breakfast stream at that time. And whenever we met up with him last Thursday, he was like, I was watching. He's like, I love that idea. He's like, let's do it. And I was like, cool. Cool. I don't know exactly how that would work. Item Crafting did it. Okay. So, yeah, he loved that idea. So as far as that being a thing that we could do, that is a thing that we could do. He's like,
we got to figure out where to get shopping carts. And I'm like, your aisles are so small.
Yeah, the shopping cart thing wouldn't work. You just need...
baskets
You could use baskets, or you could adjust the game in some way.
Yeah.
Even if it was just about... it doesn't even have to be Supermarket Sweep parody precisely. It can just be something that involves, like, describing a game and then having someone go get it, or, something like that.
Chaz says, giant shopping carts in that store would make it so much better.
The store would be destroyed. Anyway, that would be fun. That would be a fun thing. So the other cool thing is that we could go in. The other cool thing that I was talking to him about is the fact that Roland has access to the store and then the mall also after hours. So you could wait until the everything's closed. So you don't even have to worry about other people in the store or anything. Yeah. You could just be shot at night. And it's just so cool. It's just a really cool idea. There's a lot that you could do there. And then also we'd have access to the arcade. So when it's time for us to film our Nick Arcade parody. Anyway, I know it's a little early to be talking about Coliseum next year and the physical aspect of it, but gosh darn it.
I hope so.
I hope it happens, and I hope we still do it here, because there's so many possibilities. Lots of possibilities. Anyway, 9 months from Jack Hilo, triple plus. 500 bits from Murmur. As a barista, the insane amount of sugar people put in their coffee is ridiculous. I once had someone ask for one tea sugars in their latte. What is tea?
That might be a measurement that
Baristas use?
or like a specific coffee chain, like I don't know.
Or was the tea supposed to be another number, and it was like, what's close to tea on the keyboard? 5?
Is it tablespoon? 15.
Murmur says 15. Okay, yeah, it was like, what's next to the tea? It's 5. 15 sugars. I just don't know how anyone could straight face ask for 15 sugars in a coffee. Like, 1 terabyte of sugar. 1 trillion sugar. I don't know. I don't know how you would deal with that. Like, the professionalism that would be required of you is immense there, because if I was the barista, I'd be like, I'm sorry? And they would be like 15 sugars, and you'd be like...
And if it was a regular latte, those cups are half this size, right? Approximately, because a latte is a shot of espresso with milk.
Yeah.
So, like, you'd have to fill the cup with sugar and then put the shot of espresso in.
I'd be like,
and
sir...
then whatever room was left would be milk.
I'd be like, sir, we don't do assisted suicides here. I'm sorry. 50. There should be a cap. What they should do... I guess if you're in the drive-thru, it doesn't work this way. But I was like, what they should do is they'll do some behind a cap. Well, no, they have the thing where you put your own sugar in.
Well, you can do that and add more.
There should be a limit. You get like
packets, and like we only give out 5 packets.
You get like 3, and then it's like, if you want more, you gotta do it yourself. Woo. 15 sugars. Oh yeah, Murmur says not anymore because that's right. Yeah, people can't put in their own sugars now. So now, because of the virus, you get to find out how crazy people really are, because you have to be the one to do it. Man. I mean, I want everyone to enjoy their lives however they want to enjoy them. Does that sound wild to me? I mean, yeah, but hey, who knows? Maybe someone had a bad day and they're like, I know what'll fix this. 15
That's
sugars,
how I
baby.
thought about getting a cinnamon roll this morning. I was like, I deserve this today.
Yeah, and like, is a cinnamon roll equivalent of like 15 sugars? Probably, but is it more socially acceptable? A little bit, yeah. It would be less socially acceptable if we had a cup of coffee this morning and everyone's like, you're not going to eat anything? It's like, oh no, we blended a cinnamon roll into this before we got up here. Jesus. 300 bits from Noah. Science. On the topic of sugar, table sugar is composed entirely of sucrose, which is a polymer of 2 other sugar subunits, glucose and fructose. Is that supposed to be fructose, or is it fructose?
I'm also curious about Splenda, because like the Splenda
Fructose.
family of sugars,
fructose.
that not sugar makes me nauseous. And I can tell if it's in something because I get so nauseous, like diet soda or whatever.
It's interesting that like some people can and cannot like taste the difference between
I
the
can't
things.
taste it, but I feel it like later, like the next 10 minutes after.
I can very much taste the difference. It's like the difference between like Coke and Coke Zero. I can drink Coke Zero, but like, is it a very different drink to me than Coke?
Oh
yes.
Yeah, that for sure.
Yes, it tastes like almost entirely different to me. It's like a completely different drink. But
yeah, Coke Zero is very different. But like, otherwise, like when I worked at Culver's, our lemon ice used to have sugar in it. I don't know what it is now, but for some time when I worked there, it had Splenda in it. And like, I would eat it and I was like, I like this, but I would feel just real nauseous after.
It doesn't make me sick. At least any sicker than I normally am.
Yeah.
It just tastes weird. 4 months from Kiera Loa. Ex-Starbucks barista here. Let me tell you that 2 tablespoons is nothing. A standard Starbucks order is probably closer to 10 to 15 tablespoons of sugar.
Oof.
But that's still bad. Just because that's the normal thing doesn't mean that it's good. It's still a lot of sugar. And I don't think there's anything wrong with enjoying something like that every once in a while. But I don't know. I could very quickly get into like how I feel that the line between milkshake and coffee is completely blurred. They've become like the same thing. There's nothing wrong with having a milkshake every once in a while. I like milkshakes. Mm-hmm. But to have a coffee every morning and the coffee is a milkshake, I have a concern. Personally, I have a concern about it.
That's fun data, though. Like, if you were working a job like that, like, keeping a poll for a while, like, just, you know, how many tablespoons of sugar, so you can make, like, yourself a little graph.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to do.
Yeah.
That's the sort of stuff I would do when I worked fast food. I'd be like, all right, how many sandwiches are we going to sell today?
So my suggestion to anyone who, you know, either puts a lot of sugar in their coffee at home or has like these standard Starbucks drinks which have a lot of sugar is, I mean, for one, if you're drinking something from Starbucks that has like a set amount, find out what that amount is, and then maybe next time you go, like decrease it by 1. You know, however much sugar, like ask them for like slightly less sugar or something, because the taste difference is probably going to be so similar that you're not going to notice it, and then maybe like very slowly try and like wean yourself off of having that much sugar, because it's possible. Because you did it.
Yeah.
You started using a little bit more again, but you did do it. So I think you did. 300 bits from Furious Kidding. Explaining the brain fog. I had taken some painkillers and went to sleep for a few minutes so I'd feel rested and pain-free and be able to pump some iron. Needless to say, it did not work, and now my head feels even worse. Well, love y'all. I understand that feeling, though. The feeling of, like, when things are just foggy and, like, you feel like the only way you can solve it is sleeping.
Yeah.
Napping. Doing something like that. Because I've been there. Sometimes I get there with eye migraines too.
Yeah.
If I have a particularly bad one, I'm like, I call it resetting. I'm like, I need to reset. And I'll just try and nap for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Something just long enough where I actually do fall asleep, so when I wake up it'll be better. But you know, if it doesn't work, then that's a bad experience. Regardless, I hope you feel better soon. Because I hate that. 100 bits from BXLR, appreciate it. 1,000 bits from Big O 26 Shen. Steven after stream. Mallory, I want pizza. Mal, no. Steven, but I want it. Mal, fine. Makes grilled cheese and tomato soup. I'm waiting for that discussion to come back up on Disco Only.
Soon.
Spend the entire show talking about it.
Isn't the next one soon?
Early August?
Yeah.
Depends how...
2 weeks?
It's 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So if that's soon, then I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that counts as soon. August 4th, 2 weeks. It's exciting.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm also looking forward to it. I had fun on the last one. It was a joy to do. 300 bits from Cryon8472. It's Chiron, not Cryon. Okay. So Chiron. I will do my best to commit this to memory. Also, what about cupcakes, especially the mini ones? Obviously, the smaller you get, the thing, like the last thing, like the things that are bite-sized, which when I was talking about like
the
cake
little
pops,
ones. Yeah.
that you start to become more. It's more acceptable, like cookies. Slices of cake are harder. But cupcakes, yeah. The mini ones especially. You can't eat multiple, like, normal-sized cupcakes, though. Also, it really depends on what people consider a normal-sized cupcake.
Yeah.
Cupcakes have ballooned in size, and it's considered normal now. When I was a kid, cupcakes were, like this big. And now a cupcake is like this. No, they are.
You
they
can get
are.
like a single one that
They're the
big.
size of muffins. And well, also on that note, muffins have gotten a lot bigger too. They got big. No, it says, are you underestimating my abilities to eat cupcakes?
Man, every Monday at between 8 and 9 o'clock when I was at Stout, if you walked by the right part of campus, the muffin lady was there and you could get a muffin for free.
Sounds pretty good.
It was a local church. They would bake them and then they would freeze them so they had a bunch. And then every Monday morning they would hand out muffins. And it was the muffin lady on Mondays.
See, I prefer muffins to cupcakes, but it's only because I feel like muffins are already sweet enough, and like, because a muffin, a cupcake is just a muffin with frosting. You know, the muffin is already sweet enough to me that I'm like, nah, no, I don't need no frosting on this. So, but will I eat a cupcake occasionally? Yeah, if I'm in a place where the cupcakes are served.
Wizard grad student says, "Oh, she sounds sweet." She was, and you could just stop and chat with them, and like they were just doing it to make students happy. Like it wasn't anything else. It was just, here's a muffin.
Rando says, "How is a muffin too sweet?" I mean, certainly it can depend on the type of muffin you're having. Like if you're having a bran muffin, then I guess you are not having a sweet muffin. But like a typical
blueberry muffin.
a typical blueberry muffin in the States is so freaking sweet.
And then you sometimes get them with like the
they have
crunchy on top.
The crunchy sugar on top.
Sometimes, but not always.
A lot of the time. So to me, I'm like, that's I'm good. That's plenty of. I don't need anything else. 300 bits from Fury's Kitty. I'd bake a cake you can eat with your hands and offer you a second slice when you're done. Easy. You can't eat a cake with your hands. Unless it's a cake pop. Otherwise, I guess a cupcake. I guess a cupcake counts. 300 bits from Anne, who says, I question the idea that cats cannot taste sweet simply because I once had a cat who would always try to steal my strawberry Pop-Tarts. Anecdote of the evidence only, I know, but it was very funny to have her climbing my chest and trying to take it from me.
Rocco does that. With sugar?
Yeah.
Like sweet things?
Yeah.
But like...
Yeah, I mean, we know, like, the traits of cats, they can't taste it. So there's got to be
something else they're interested
some
in?
other thing that they are smelling. You know. So Mittens, the cat we had before Rocco, Mittens like really liked vanilla ice cream, and it was because
of the cream.
It was cream. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when my parents would have vanilla ice cream, Mittens would be all over them and wanting to lick the bowl or whatever. And it was because of the cream. So there must be something else that they're smelling. 300 bits from Ziasarn. Speaking of the food talk we've had, which I'm all down for, Kue lapis, translated as layer cake, is a traditional dessert in Indonesia that I recommend looking up. It's very yummy and not that sweet and very soft. I like soft cakes. Look that up. We've looked up so many things.
I got it.
Kue lapis. Oh yeah, I've seen this before, or some sort of like variation of it.
It looks jello-y. Maybe that's just the food coloring?
That's just the food coloring.
Yeah.
I've had cake that looked like that before. So that's, I don't know if I had that specifically or if there's another.
Oh, I can't read that language.
Or if there's another country that does something just very, very similar. But I've had something very, very similar to that before, and it is good.
Oh, it's a steamed cake. That's why it looks that way. Or pudding.
Neat. There's so much to eat, and we keep like making new stuff. Good job, humanity. Like, we got other problems, sure, but we're also figuring out more food and more recipes and stuff. Good. 300 bits from Furious Kitty. Fun fact about cake and manners. At work, I was offered to sit down with my clients and have a piece of cake. I kindly declined because all I wanted to do was speak with the captain and resume work on the ramp. but they wouldn't take no for an answer. I felt if I had declined for the third time, they would have force-fed me the cake. Different folks, different culture, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I've also been in positions where someone was just extremely adamant about wanting me to, like, try a thing they made. And I felt forced. But it doesn't make me happy. Like, I like making people happy, and if that means, like, trying their thing, okay. But there's times where, like, I don't want a thing. And I don't like feeling like I'm forced into something. But that has happened to me occasionally. Oh, you have to... Yes, those words that NG Bin said. I insist! Yeah, okay. I insist that you stop trying to force feed me this cake. We both insist. Well, if you're allergic. That's a good excuse. I'm allergic to eggs. Oh, there's no eggs in it. I'm also allergic to... What's in this? That's what I'm allergic to. 500 bits from Chick from Neptune. I used to work at Starbucks, and at 5 a.m. every morning, the same guy would pour the entire large container of... Sorry, I need a minute. The entire large container of sugar at the self-service counter into his coffee. Once I tried to put out 2 so I wouldn't have to refill it later, and he used up both of them. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. Also, I feel so strongly that there's diminishing returns, man. In addition,
At some point, it's just...
Like,
It's just sugar.
Like, let's set aside the fact that it's just rude. Like, it's just... You can't just use the whole... That's just rude. But let's set aside that and just look at the fact that, like, there's diminishing returns on this. You use a certain amount of sugar, the difference between... Okay, so you'd use this much sugar? Okay. But then, once you get to, like, here, from here to here, it's all the same. It all tastes the same. Once it's so sweet, you don't taste it. You know what I mean?
The fact that it was 5 a.m. every morning, some guy, reminded me of when I worked at Culver's and did opening. Because you'd arrive at like 7 before we opened at 10 and like do all the prep stuff. And like 9:30 we'd all go on our break and we'd all eat, our lunch, and then we'd open the restaurant. But we were very strict about we don't unlock the doors until 10 on the dot. And every so often there'd be a guy show up, and it was like the same guy who would stand in the stones by the windows and just peer in at us as we ate on break. It was like, open up. And we're like, it's not 10 yet.
Also, shout out to #/ for quoting the Beastie Boys. I like my sugar with coffee and cream. Anyway, 300 bits from Danny, who says, related to the sugar and coffee debate, as a former Chick-fil-A employee, the amount of CFA sauce people ask for in relation to their order is insane. I'm talking 8 sauce packets per meal, with 4 people each getting a meal. I will never comprehend that. Maybe they're just trying to, like, make their own jar of sauce at home.
I mean, we normally try and get, like, 1 extra so we have one at home, but not that many. Like, 1 extra.
Well, I try to request a normal amount and then just keep 1.
Yeah.
And then I just have an extra sauce dippy at home.
Danny says, you'd think that. I've seen people use them all. Ah.
That's impossible. Like, one sauce packet per French fry. I mean, like, as a general rule, if you're having a sauce packet, you don't have to think much about, like, the calories or anything of a sauce packet. But, like, once you get to 8, you have to start considering that as, like, a separate part of your meal. Like, if you're eating 8 packets of ranch, like, that's another burger, man. Like, you... if you just have 1 sauce packet and you're dipping fries, okay. You have 8, you ate another sandwich. Like, it may not feel like it, but I promise you did.
Yet at Taco Bell, if you ask for sauce packets, they give you like 30.
That's weird. That is weird. Yeah. Sir, would you like any sauce? Some mild? You get a thing, it's 1,000 pounds, and you're like... They knew what we ordered. It's like, can we get 2 burritos and some mild sauce? So, okay, here's your 2 burritos and 200 packets of mild sauce. I just want to know what the kitchens in Taco Bell look like. Are they wading through sauce packets? They're just trying to get rid of them?
How many do they go through on a day?
Oh my god. Anyway. 300 bits. From what is even this game? Speaking on Splenda, did you know it was discovered when a scientist thought he heard taste it instead of test it? I did not know that.
Huh.
Taste it.
That seems like a...
Wait, no, Jerry, that's acid.
Yeah, very dangerous.
Reminds me of the discussion we had recently about all science should just be done in a pool. Could have never happened if it would have been in a pool. 301 bits from Red Fury Prime. Good morning, grandparents. It's a bit weird saying good morning when it's almost 5 p.m. here. Well, you know. It's morning somewhere. Here. It's morning here. 500 bits from Fuzzy Pickles. So 2 things. There are people who get the largest cup size full of espresso, and I'm pretty sure that qualifies as a suicide attempt. Also, personally find that Coke Zero and Diet Pepsi taste the same. They're actually the only colas I can drink because other variations give me major heartburn. I've never had Diet Pepsi. I've had Diet Coke, not willingly, but there's been times I've tried it, and that's a different drink entirely. But I'm curious how close Diet Pepsi and Coke Zero are now.
Coffee!
Now, I also have had a very large cup of espresso. Nothing gets your heart racing like all the espresso. 300 bits from Noah. I looked it up, and apparently the reason cats don't taste sweet is because they're carnivores. Carbohydrates break down into sugar, so since carbohydrates are not part of a cat's diet, there's no reason for them to be able to taste them. Ah. I just knew that there was a thing they couldn't taste. But there's the science-y...
Obligate carnivores.
There's the science-y reason. Yeah, they like meat. Make sure you give a cat meat. Because it will say, thank you, this is literally what I eat. I need...
They're obligate carnivores.
Yeah. Like, they can eat grass, but it's mostly to, like, fix their stomach. If their stomachs are upset. 300 bits from Ange. I've been up since 4. My fur child woke me up at 2:45 to pick him up after he went to get a drink. Then at 4, my 3-year-old woke up screaming, and then my other fur child started looking at 4:25. There isn't enough coffee in the world. Ange, I'm sorry. I hope that either the coffee kicks in hardcore, or you're able to sneak a nap in at some point today. Regardless, I hope that your day gets better. Noah says, is there enough sugar for that coffee? See, Ange could use the extra sugar today.
Chess said Elspeth dislikes tuna but desires pizza crust. And knives.
Yeah, that's the bigger concern. Elspeth dislikes tuna but likes knives.
I guess Elspeth needs the oven to cook the pizza and the knife to cut it. She just wants to make a pizza, Chaz.
Some cats, there's very specific foods though that some cats love and other cats are like, what? Nah. So that's not terribly unexpected. There's some things Kep doesn't really care too much for.
Yeah.
So, here bits from Waste and Aeon. Might as well mention what cake is popular in Sweden as well. During summertime, we tend to eat sandwich cake, a cake made of bread, a lot of mayo and cream together, with various vegetables and shrimps and cheese.
No mayo.
I could do that without the mayo. Without the mayo.
Is this a Swedish? It is a Swedish cake. I've always wanted to try a princess cake, which is a Swedish cake.
A thin layer of mayo we can do. Everything past that. Yeah, let's skip. I've never been a fan of mayo just in general. And there's a lot of things in Japan that use extra
mayo.
Mayo.
They use Japanese mayo, which has more egg yolk in it, I think.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's too much for me.
Coffee.
But everything else in that sounds good. I would do everything else. Tend to crowd with the 301 ketchup brain. Then 300 bits from Andrew in the kitchen. Sorry to extend the stream, but are brownies cookies or are brownies cake? These are the big questions this morning. Brownies or cake? Wait. Shoot. No, they're
They're brownies.
brownies. Yeah, but you have to choose. You can't.
Cake.
Cake. I think if you have to choose,
They're a bar.
if you have to choose, I'm going to put them into the cake category. Although, if we're deciding strictly based on my weird philosophy about socially
Being okay
thing?
to eat
Yeah.
things.
then it's a cookie. Because you're allowed to have multiple brownies and it's okay. But would I qualify them as cake? Yes.
Circle Now Squirt says, Mouse have bar with a very Wisconsin accent. It's because you need to have your coffee and bars. You bring bars to the bake sale.
Noah, that's illegal. Mayo in a brownie.
You can use it as a substitute for oil.
Okay.
Or
Why?
like eggs sometimes.
Brownies are cake that fall under cookie law. Yes! Put that on a shirt. 300 bits from Chiron who says, I had a Pepsi Blue once and it was disgusting. I've never even heard of that. What is that? Is that like Crystal Pepsi, but it's blue?
I think so.
Like how Mountain Dew makes all the crazy flavors? But it's like blue raspberry? I've never even heard of that.
We watched a video on someone making cola from scratch. And it's green. And then they dye it brown. And that's how apparently it works with Pepsi and Coke too. Blue raspberry Pepsi didn't last long.
I don't even remember that. At some point I'll probably get a chance to try it because everything that goes away comes back again.
Yeah.
They bring it out long enough for people to remember it, and then they wait 10 years, and then they're like, we're bringing it back out. So it'll probably happen. Let's see. We got 200 bits from Fuzzy Pickle 95. Appreciate it. And then 5-month resub from Raxo64 says, ooh, 2-hour stream. Are we aiming for 3? Nope. And we're ending right now.
Wait. Oh, someone said that Coke or Pepsi is not good in South Africa. Anise said that just a little bit up. I was curious why.
Mal needs
Right
to
there.
know.
I cannot with Pepsi in South Africa. Coke is better.
Coke used to be green. It was intended to be a cure for stomach issues. Okay, what's wrong with the Pepsi? Mex says Pepsi's just not good, IMO. I can drink Pepsi just fine. But do I prefer Coke? Yes. Yes. I absolutely, 2-to-1 or more prefer Coke. Pepsi's is real sweet. The pride of the Carolinas. So here's the thing. People are like, Pepsi is like, the southern thing. And I'm like, Coke's in Atlanta.
Isn't there like a Coke factory nearby?
I don't know. They're both.
Pepsi and Coke are made with different ingredients in South Africa.
Pepsi uses corn syrup and Coke uses sugar. Oh.
I have a cousin there, so I was curious.
Oh, interesting.
There's a Coke museum in Atlanta. I know, I want to go someday.
Yeah. Thoughts on Cheerwine?
Cheerwine is good.
Good on tap. I mean, it's good otherwise,
If
but
you
like
can get it like at a soda fountain, it's really good.
we have some soda fountains around that have it on tap, and it's worth getting. It's worth getting. Things to announce for today. Back to Smash Brothers.
Yep.
Smash Brothers is almost over. Today's K. Rool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Mal's hard at work on her next painting. That's it. Expect at least a vlog today, and then, with any luck, more than that. And we'll be back on Thursday at 9 for breakfast stream. That's it.
That's it.
Enjoy your day. Have a wonderful Tuesday. We'll see you on Thursday.